all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go along that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got that.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an
Chinese critic.
erratic
Mikhail
detective,
Rodriguez.
is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? No, Gildarie, you deal with that. You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Gildarie, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there. You're watching the Freddie Kissoon Show with co-host Leonard Gildarie and Akash Prasad. Leonard Gildarie has not been able to be with us for a couple of months because of his work situation. Good night to Akash Prasad, my co-host. We have a guest this evening whose name travels far and wide in Guyana and in the sports world. Here with us tonight is West Indian and Guyanese international star in all three formats of the game, Test, T20 and One Days, Keemo Paul. Very few people would know, or if they know, it's not highlighted, but Keemo Paul has a very interesting name, and we will introduce him by that name. Keemo, thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
And I should say, Mandela, thanks for being here.
Yeah, Mandela Angus.
Yeah, it's Keemo Mandela Angus Paul.
Yeah.
You wanna start and tell us a little bit about those names, Keemo?
Who is it, mother or father?
Definitely my father.
The father gave you that?
Yeah. So he obviously looked up to the great man, Nelson Mandela.
One of the great figures in human history.
Definitely. And then the Angus, he told me, came from the fast bowler that played for
Angus Fraser.
Angus Fraser, England.
Fraser, yeah.
Yeah.
So he said that's where the Angus came from.
So your father was a cricket enthusiast?
Definitely. My father, he played like for the school youth level and stuff, but after then he just loved cricket, man. He watched every single game and he just followed everything. So that's how I got these two unique names.
And his father's from Berbice, you know.
Yeah. Listen, Keemo, do you know what you have in common with Shamar Joseph? I haven't done the research, but I think of the two Guyanese West Indian stars that have come from very, very far areas. Sarwan came from Wakenham, but he told us on this program, he spent a lot of time in Georgetown. Shamar Joseph and you came from very, very distant part of Guyana in very, very humble beginnings. And that is Saxicali. Trace your roots for us. Tell us about this world of this little boy growing up in Saxicali.
Well, yeah, like you said, both me and Shamar come from very rural areas. I'm from Saxicali. It's on the mainland of the Essequibo River. Very quiet, very calm, peaceful area. Everyone knows each other. It's just a family. Growing up, I would say it was lots of fun. There's lots of fruit trees. We did farming, fishing. So that was basically my life growing up. Ever since I've known myself from like the age of 4 years, my dad, because of him being a cricket enthusiast as you said, he just wanted me to play cricket. So every day he would just, whenever he was around, because obviously he had to work, and me and my mom and brothers obviously spent a lot more time together home. When he came to Saxacali, he would just throw balls at me. I would bat, I would bowl, and that's where it all started for me in the cricketing world. So that's basically how my journey started. Saxacali, as people may know, it's just a primary and a nursery school. The nursery is in the primary. There's no secondary school, nothing like that in that area. So we grew up playing softball, only softball. And how I really, I would say, got competitive is we would play against the reverend areas like Carrier, Bonasika. We would travel to these areas and we would just play softball, and that's how the love and the passion came. But from transforming from the softball to the hardball is a whole different story again, because I migrated internally to Wakenham, and that's where that started for me.
Oh, you have a Wakenham connection?
Yeah.
Because both of us have a Wakenham connection. He's from Wakenham. My wife has a roots in Wakenham. I still visit the island quite often because of my wife.
Okay.
I really do like Wakenham. For some reason, I think it's my favorite place in
very,
Guyana.
very peaceful. Very peaceful, very quiet.
As a matter of fact, when I first got to know about Keemo Paul, he was already living in Wakenham, because that's when he started to make his way into. That's when you start to make your way into the junior teams.
Yeah, from Wakenham.
From Wakenham, yeah. What was that journey like playing? I know that the grounds in Wakenham were not of the best, but what was that journey like, Keemo? Moving to Wakenham, getting into hardball, and who were some of the persons that helped shape you?
Well, look, first of all, moving to Wakenham was not easy, because obviously I moved to Wakenham to further my secondary education. Mm-hmm. It was the most convenient place then. It was where my sister lived, and obviously my sister had just died, so it wasn't the easiest of transitions for me. And I actually didn't play cricket for like 1 year when I got to Wakenham because of what had happened. I wanted to be by myself, and I was just, I didn't want to play anything. So like after that pass and stuff, my first game on Wakenham, I remember it was Sir Asif Ahmad.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the
Sheikh Ahmad.
Yeah, I think he's the head teacher now, right? Yeah. So he was actually the one. He was involved in cricket on the board and stuff, and
right.
He was actually the one that actually got me to play my first game from school, because obviously he wanted me to leave school to go and play a game for the school, and that's where it all started. And from then, it was just I would say it was fun. As you know where the ball field is, every afternoon after then I would go to the ball field, and it was just me. I remember my good friend Moyen, Imran, Nocta, these guys, we would play tape ball mostly.
Yeah.
So that's where I started getting into the groove. And then obviously I started, every Sunday we would play the competitions, the hardball competitions. And to be honest, I would just train by myself mostly. My mother was the one who used to wake me up every morning. Keemo, get up, you gotta go run, you gotta do something, because she wanted me to obviously grow and transform as a cricketer, but I never knew cricket had so much to offer. When I started playing cricket, it was just play for fun, play for whatever. Mm-hmm. So as the time progressed, I would just play with these guys, and then I would go and train with guys like Zaire, Wazir, Siddiq was there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I would just fall in the training sometimes and stuff like that, and that's how it grew. On a few occasions, Nankishore, Andrews was there. So that's how everyone basically chipped in and helped me. On Wakenham, it's like a family. It's I'm very close with everyone.
Yeah, the island is a family.
Yeah, so obviously everyone wanted to see me grow and do well, after I made the under 15 team, I came back. Everyone was just like trying to motivate me and push me. So it wasn't like specific training sessions or anyone, really zoning in and training you. It was just like everyone would come in the afternoons and would just bat bowl, and that's how you would filter in and get what you needed to get done.
You ever heard the name while in school of Teacher Reds and Teacher Shoin?
I heard the name Teacher Reds, and I heard both.
Well, I thought they would have. They would not have.
No.
They would have been too small.
Too small.
You know, when Simon was in this program, I said to him, and I haven't followed through, and I think I should. You have two West Indian stars that came from Wakenham, and I am sure if you go into Wakenham now, someone from the BBC or Indian newspaper, they wouldn't know if they just are they. You have to name places after your achievers, so people could know. And I told Sawan I would publicize the need for the stallion to be named, the Sawan stallion. But you got places that could be named after you and after Sawan. These are two boys in a part of Guyana that is not connected to mainland. It's an island, and look what you have achieved. I hope the relevant authorities are listening, and we're going to make a call on this program that when people like you come from so far, you walk down the street and you see the Keemo Paul Avenue. You say, who's this guy?
Keemo Paul Drive.
Yeah. I mean, Keemo, you have maintained contacts with Saxakali and Wakenham now that you're famous and you've moved on?
Definitely, and I don't like to look at myself as being famous, to be honest.
Well, when you drive down Carry First Avenue, there's a big billboard with you there, all dressed up in three-piece suit.
I mean,
you've seen it, of course.
Yes, definitely. From the humble beginnings and whatever, and like what my parents have instilled in me, I just like to be as simple as possible, and I try to stay as grounded as possible. But yeah, Saxakali for me is a massive part of me. Our childhood home is still there. My dad, my mom, they love to go to Saxakali. That's where they feel the most relaxed, like there's no stress. And every opportunity I get when I'm in the country, I head to Saxakali because that's my peaceful time. That's when I connect back with all my family, all my cousins, my uncles, everyone, because they're all there. And we are very, very close. We're a closely knit community. We're a closely knit family. Wakenham is the same thing. When I get the chance to go to Wakenham, I do. The last time I went, it wasn't for obviously a good reason, because one of my friends had died. But those two places for me, they have a special place in my heart because they molded me, they shaped me. I have lots of friends in those places. And I would say friends that became family. My teachers, everyone, we are very, very close up to this day. I have great respect for them, and yeah.
Okay.
Keemo, you burst onto the world scene in the Under-19 World Cup. That World Cup and you guys won that World Cup. It was under the captaincy of Shimron Hetmyer. Some of the guys who are playing who've played great cricket and are playing in some of the T20 leagues and so on is in that team. But that tournament seems to have been the pivotal moment in your career. I want to share some moments, and obviously, I'm gonna I am of the opinion that everybody said, "Oh, Keemo, the Mankad story," because that took the world.
That catapulted him into controversy. I want to ask him about. Anyway, let's just.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I'm going to say this: that in my opinion, in competitive cricket, you have to be thinking on your feet, and if it means winning a game, then I see it's within the rules of the game. You did nothing wrong. So, but tell me about that Under-19 World Cup.
No, that Under-19 World Cup was special, man. I mean, we were together for a pretty long time, that group. We played together for a good few months leading up into that tournament. We had camps. We played in the regional tournament. So we created a bond between each other. And I vividly remember, like in the last camp before the final squad was selected, I was struggling, man. In the camp, I wasn't getting runs. I wasn't taking wickets. And I was very, very frustrated. And I was down. I was very much down because I was thinking I wouldn't make the final squad. But I remember, the coach Graham West coming to me and speaking to me and telling me, man, you're good, you're gonna make it, just relax and don't try to think too much. And he knew my capabilities and whatnot. And then leading into the tournament, I remember we got to Bangladesh. I mean, everyone was pretty excited, to be honest, That was like my first tour, obviously out of the Caribbean and stuff like that. We got there, we played Bangladesh in a 5-match series, I think, if I remember clearly. And we lost all 5 pretty badly too. Yeah, and I still remember the guys never gave up. We always thought that, we can get better because we believed in each other. We knew what each player brought to the table and what were their capabilities. So heading into the tournament, obviously our first game, we lost to England. It was a good game. I top scored in that game, so that gave me confidence. And also the team, we lost, but we didn't lose badly, so we got confidence from there. Hetty is always a cool, funny character. He's not someone to really take stress or be too tough on the guys. He is tough and he has to be, but he just tries to keep a calm dressing room. And the coaching staff was the same. We had a really good coaching staff. Graham West was the head coach. Corey Collymore was the bowling coach, and I can't remember everyone exactly, but as we progressed into the tournament, obviously that was the only game we lost was against England, I remember. I can't remember exactly who we played after then, but I knew we won because it's been a long time now.
Yeah.
And then coming down to that game against Zimbabwe. Yeah. Obviously, it was a tight game coming down to the wire. And then
the Manka thing.
The Manka thing
that carried West Indies through to the next thing.
Yeah, because
if you didn't run out that guy,
if we lost the game, we were out of the quarterfinals. Yeah, but it wasn't some planned or anything.
But at your age, you knew you could have out him.
Yeah. Obviously, we know the rules and whatever. Yeah, so it was actually Gildarie Pope who came to me and he said, from 2 hours ago, the guy, he's leaving his crease pretty early. So just look, and instinctively, I just did it, and I mean after then it was. It was a tough time for me.
You got some flacking from the world press.
Yeah,
but that happens in sports. But I'd like to tell our viewers what became of that team. Who emerged and still around? You, Hetmaya?
Yeah, so right now it's me, Hetmaya, Carty, who is doing pretty well, Alzari,
Joseph,
Springer. Well, Springs is playing in the regional tournament. He's doing well right now also, and Ryan John is doing really well in regional right now. I mean, the rest of the guys, to be honest, I'm not quite sure.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, Imlak has carried on for West Indies now. I remember guys like Michael Frew, Shahid Crooks, Khalid Sharan, Emmanuel Strout. Well, Emmanuel was playing for Windward Islands, but I think he's injured for a long time now. But I'm not quite sure what those other guys are doing, but sometimes I receive messages from the guys from Jamaica, and sometimes me and Gidron would message and stuff like that. But who has progressed and played for the West Indies is just a few, unfortunately.
I haven't done the research, but in the pantheon of Guyanese players, I don't know if there's anyone similar in your category, because you won Cricket West Indies Emerging Player of the Year, and you won Cricket West Indies T20 in our history of cricket, beginning with the golden era of Kanai, have there been anyone who have got those two distinctions? Have there any? I mean, it is outstanding. You were West Indian emerging player, and in another year, Cricket West Indies T20 Player of the Year. I guess those two memories will live forever with you. It's two prestigious distinctions.
Yeah, definitely. But like I said earlier, I would receive these awards, and then as the time progresses, I really don't you say it would live on with me forever, but sometimes I actually forget I even won those awards because I don't really dwell on the past too much. I won it, and then I would just try to move on and use it as motivation. So I remember the T20 award. The other one, I actually forgot about that until you until you reminded me.
Emerging Player of the Year. Yeah. So every sports person, everyone, whether tennis, soccer, baseball, anything, when you're getting there and you want to get there, there is a repertoire of stars in the past that you either wanted to emulate or look up to. Tell us about your stars. And this is in world cricket, not only West Indian and Guyanese.
Yeah, well, growing up, obviously Keemo Paul and Sarwan were the two biggest names from Guyana, that's speaking from Guyana. And I always looked up to Shiv and to Sarwan. As I grew older and stuff and started playing more cricket, that was from after on the 19 World Cup and stuff. A.B. de Villiers was someone that I looked up to and like to see a bat, and guys like Callis and these guys. But for me, it will always be Shiv and Sarwan, and something that stood out for me was when Shiv hit the 10 runs from the 2 balls. I remember we were all around the radio listening, and everyone was like, it's over, and
It's tremendous.
Against Tremendous. And when he did that, it was just so special. And I look back at the video, I think sometime last year, I was looking back at the video, and I was just trying to imagine and figure out how he felt after doing that. I always want to do something special like that for the West Indies and get that feeling. So I would say Shiv and Sarwan are the two biggest that I looked up to growing up, and then as I got older, A.B. de Villiers was a guy that I really like to see bat.
Before Akash come in, Keemo, you mentioned Callis, and I wonder if the cricketing world knows something about Jack Callis. If you ask anyone who has the most test centuries, and they will tell you it's Tendulkar, do you know Callis has 6 centuries less than Tendulkar and plays 30 matches less? So if he has 6 less than Tendulkar and he played 30 matches less than Tendulkar, if he had played the same amount with Tendulkar, he'd probably be way, way, way up there. That's something people don't realize.
Also, across formats, T20, one day, and Test, there is nobody coming close to Jack Callis.
Yeah, I think Callis.
Yeah, he's way, way beyond.
You met him when you were in India?
I met him in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, South Africa.
Because he played in IPL and then he coached, and you were with Delhi Capitals, but by that time he had gone.
Yeah, he wasn't with Delhi when I was there. The only time I met him was he was coaching the Pretoria Capitals in South Africa, or assistant coach, I think. Yeah, but that was the only time I really met him.
Akash?
Keemo, but as Mr. Kissoon always say, when we have this conversation, time really goes by. Yeah. So, we're gonna. But when you received that first West Indies Test cap, what were the emotions like, man? What? Obviously, it's the pinnacle of cricket, and how did you feel when you made the West Indies team? And the first game, maybe tell us about the first game.
Yeah, well, from what I could remember, My first game was a ODI game. Was a World Cup qualifier game in Zimbabwe. But I was playing the A team against the England Lions in Antigua. And I did well in the first game against the Lions. And then it so happened Cottrell got injured in Zimbabwe. So obviously the guys, some of the guys knew in the camp, and there was like someone from here is going to replace Cottrell, right? But I wasn't thinking about it because I always thought to myself I would make West Indies when I was like about the age of 24, 25.
Okay.
Because that was what I was giving myself to mature and yeah.
You made it long before then, though?
Yeah. So I remember we won against the England Lions the first game, and then we were practicing. The chairman of selectors then was Courtney Brown. Yeah. And I was doing some work in the middle, and then I was leaving to go to the nets behind. So I had to pass. Courtney was like sitting before the nets, and I had to pass him on the way. So I was passing him. I just told him, well, hello, Mr. Brown, whatever. And he was like, are you ready to go? And I was like, where? And then he told me, you got to fly to Zimbabwe. And then, man.
Emotions.
Yeah, emotions. I was just like.
You still have that hat? You still have that cap?
The test cap, yeah, it's home.
I guess you're going to show your daughter when she gets...
I show her if she's interested in cricket. I'm not really the type to show.
You let your kids do what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's only one. I guess
One.
a few more coming, right?
Probably one more. one is a lot of work. So
You're stopping at two.
Yeah.
Share your experience in the dressing room, and share your experience with the stars of the world. You have mixed with them. You still have a long more to go. Guyana Amazon won the CPL with the captain that when he takes a wicket, you know what he does? He flies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, cricket in general has given me so much, you know. I've been able to rub shoulders with a lot of people who, quite frankly, growing up, I never thought that I would be able to share the same dressing room or even meet them, you know. As you play, I mean, West Indies and franchise cricket has really shown me a lot, and I'm pretty humbled by that opportunity, you know. Like you said, being in the dressing room with, I mean, like at Delhi, there was Pontin there, and
but he's the coach.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are guys like these modern guys like Pant and these guys, but I mean to be on the Pontin and like for him to actually guide you, and he actually got me to play in Australia, you know. And then as we move on, obviously there's guys like Lance Cruz now, who's our coach in South Africa.
And then he came here.
Yeah.
He will be with Amazon Warrior again this year, right?
Well, I won't be able to say. Yeah, hopefully. So like lots of international stars, like I said, that I looked up to, and it's so much different personalities, and these guys are just so humble, and you learn so much, you know, like from guys like Morne Morkel and these guys. He actually helped me with my bowling a lot, and the opportunity has just been great, man. I just try to learn as much as I can from these guys. Obviously, you look at the way they go about their business and how they train, how they work, stuff like that. John T. Rose is another guy, man. I really look up to him as an individual and as a person. You know, he's just so full of energy. He just always wants the best. And it's too numerous to mention, man. I just try to pick each and every one brain and just take a bit from them, and just try to build myself and try to uplift myself and to try to be a better cricketer and a better person, because I always want to progress, and I don't think I've reached my peak potential yet. So that's something that I'm really working towards, you know, like to try and be the best, because I've set myself a goal to try and be the best all around in the world. And you know, it's not gonna get there by just being basic. I need to figure out certain things, and cricket is it's not just about just going out there and playing. Cricket is a lot of mental work, a lot of technical work, and you need to be smart. You need to know to read the game, and you need to know to read your body also, and that's something that I have to work on big time. So it has really humbled me, and I always think that I'm trying to seek ways of improving myself and improving my cricket and lifting the standard also, and trying to be a role model for upcoming players as much as possible.
So I guess you and Shamar Joseph will have lots of talks in the future.
Well, look, I mean, I've known Shamar from before all of his success right now. Shamar's always been a hard worker, always been someone willing to learn. You know, he always asks a lot of questions. You know, so I don't think anything will change. I always try to be a leader and always try to offer advice whenever I think it's possible. You know, so I think not just Shamar, there's lots of guys coming up that look up to certain players, and you need to set an example, you know. Like I said, cricket is not just about going out there and playing. It's much more. It's much more mental, because a lot of people don't look at the mental aspect of the game, you know. When you have to travel and leave for months and leave your family, and then like the COVID time was the toughest, you know, like mentally that was like you would go crazy sometimes. So I just want to keep offering as much advice as possible, because I've played a lot of places, I've gained a lot of experience, you know. So I just try to share back as much as I can whenever.
Akash?
Keemo, a conversation that we had some time back, you know, we were talking about training facilities, and you mentioned when you were playing in the Australian League, you were telling me about the training facilities. And when you look at these teams and how good they are, like India and Australia and all these, obviously it has to do a lot with the facilities being provided. You want to share a little bit about that? I think you mentioned that one of the grounds you can actually train underneath the stadium, right? And you walk out from training straight onto the ground.
Yeah.
Where is that?
That's in Hobart.
In Hobart.
That's,
So
that's
you know,
in Tasmania.
Tasmania.
yeah. What are some of the great facilities that you've seen that you would like, you know, that we as West Indians, I'm not saying that we can get there right away, but perhaps we can have some time that can help with the.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I've played all over, obviously, at some top class facilities. I mean, obviously, in the Caribbean, we may not have those kind of resources that they have, you know. But I still think we can do a bit better, you know, because I mean, I would say also, as guys play and, you know, they start getting their finances intact or whatever, you also have to try and build yourself and invest in yourself. But obviously you can't, if you just started playing, you can't create something like a top class facility for you to train at, because you need the land, you need whatever, you need finances to do that. But I still think we can do a bit more with the grounds, you know, and like indoor facilities, stuff like that. And I think also some points that I've picked up from like playing like in Australia especially is nutrition, you know, how these guys fuel their bodies, what they eat and stuff like that, and how they train. Man, it's really it's not by fault that they've won 2 World Cups back to back or whatever, and the caliber of cricket they play, because they invest highly in sports. But I think as time progresses, we will get there, you know. But like I said again, I still think we can do a bit better with the indoor facilities, and probably like get a place where sports person, not just cricketers, you know, like a proper gym facility, a recovery with a recovery pool and stuff like that, where guys could go and get a good workout in, and then go and do some recovery in the pool.
Get a nice bath.
Correct. Or go into the massage room and get a massage or something like that, you know. So I just think that in the future, I think we can get there.
And these areas are critical for good sportsmen, yeah?
Man, recovery is is really, really important. I think lots of guys take it for granted, you know, and I did also when I was young. I was always telling myself I'm fit, you know. I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to go and recover and do my stretches. And I think that's why the injuries are coming so thick and fast now, because I've put my body through so much, you know. Sometimes a guy and I would bowl 10, 12 overs on the trot. Just keep going, and then I would even take a nice bath after the day's play. I would just put my clothes on and head home, you know. But as you grow older, you get much wiser, and as you be around this franchise setup also, you see how much effort they put into recovery after games, you know. You need your game ready, as in to ice certain parts of the body. You need these recovery pumps to get the fluid out of your legs, whatever. They place a lot of emphasis on recovery because they need it to be as fresh as possible for the next game. And I think, like I said, players need to invest in certain stuff that they can afford now for their bodies, and also the boards and whatever need to invest and get some stuff for the players to be ready to go for our next game, because 4-day cricket is not easy, you know. I don't think one physio would cut it. You know, sometimes teams travel without a trainer, with one physio. I mean, you need a trainer to keep guys in the gym. I mean, some guys would go up their own, but what they may be doing may not be the right thing. They may not be focusing on the right part of the body or whatever. So you need
certified and qualified
You need
trainers.
qualified people, you know. You need qualified people. You need a trainer there. You need physios. You need recovery pumps. You need game ready. You need a massage therapist. You know, you need an analyst, because cricket, you need to analyze. Every team has an analyst now. It's not just going out there and playing, because if Akash is a player and I don't know Akash's strengths, I don't know Akash's weaknesses, then how can I exploit it?
And that's where the analyst comes in. He sits with each one of you and say, look, when it comes to spin bowler, he say, look, this is how we operate. But in cricket, in modern cricket, and this is now personal to you, in modern cricket, there are two extra burdens in the team: an all-rounder and a wicket-keeper bat. Remember, that guy has to keep wicket, and then he has to bat.
Yeah.
And then the all-rounder, and you listed as an West Indian all-rounder. So you have to bowl, and you're expected to bowl, you're expected to take wickets, and you're expected to bat. You want to continue with your all-rounder status, or don't you think that's a real burdensome imposition? All-rounder.
Look,
is a batsman and a bowler.
It's tough. An all-rounder's job, a fast bowling all-rounder especially, is not easy.
Why didn't the spin bowler?
Yeah, the spin bowler it's tough, but it's not going to be tough as a fast bowling all-rounder. And obviously, if you're someone who prides yourself on fielding also, you need to tie all three of those together in one practice session, you know. You need to go do your bowling, do your batting, then do your fielding. And if you want to improve, the intensity that you're going to do it at is going to be a high intensity. It's not just going to be haphazard and lackadaisical. So, I mean, like I said, I want to be the best all-round in the world. So for now, I will continue with it. But, I mean, at times I have thought about, boy, this is getting too hard, you know? Like the injuries are coming, and then sometimes your shoulder may be pain in the bait, you still got to go bowl, you still got to do stuff. And I've thought about it like, man, I should just become a spinner or something and just, but no, I will continue with the all-rounder position for now. And I mean, if my body can't take it as I get older, then I've always wanted to be a batsman, you know, from growing up. That's what I played as from under 15 coming right through. So that's something that I would definitely want. If I stop bowling, just be an all-and-out batsman.
Oh gosh.
Keemo, I want you to share this story. I remember you told me that somebody had hit you in the rib during a game. You got hit, and you continued playing the game. You said that you were in so much pain you couldn't. What was it?
That was an international match.
Yeah, share that story again.
That was against India, the last series I played for West Indies. Hardik Pandya hit me. I was going to pull a ball too early, and I got hit. And I was just like laughing it off, you know, and like in the afternoon, it was just very sore. I couldn't cough every time I talk or to sneeze. It was so much pain. So I think we did I don't think we did a scan. We just did a ultrasound, I think, but it didn't show any fracture or anything. So I just kept training. Obviously, it was this side, my bowling side. So I just kept training, whatever. I wasn't telling anyone the kind of pain I was in because I wanted to play. But I remember it was the T20 series against India. I played the last game in Fort Lauderdale, you know, and man, that was the most painful game for me. I was just standing there and literally eye water just came out of my eyes just like that because I ran into
teammates didn't know that.
No one.
Who was the batter at the other end? Can you remember?
Yeah, I remember clearly. I bowled the ball to Deepak Huda, and he just did like this, and it just came straight back to me. But I couldn't even bend and pick it up. I just did like this, and the ball just passed there, and everyone wanted to know like what the hell was I doing. But I couldn't move. This was paining so much. Literally on the boundary. When I went to the boundary, it was just like.
Why didn't you go into the pavilion?
Passionate for the game, yeah?
No, I mean, like I would say, man, that's passion, and then obviously I wanted to play because you keep thinking about your position, whatever.
Oh yeah,
in
right.
the team, right? But the point that I'm in my life and career right now, I don't think I would risk those stuff right now, you know.
Yeah, it could lay you up for months.
Yeah, obviously, man. After that, I came home and I still wasn't good in like a month. But I didn't do an X-ray to see if the bone was probably cracked or whatever. I just came home and rested up. But that was a tough tour because I was trying to protect it and trying to hide it. I just kept telling everyone I was okay. But to bowl, it was so painful, man. Yeah.
But you're looking back at that, it was a mistake. You could have been laid up for months and months.
Yeah, it was a big mistake because look, I mean, people would like I said, the ball that passed me right there. People would be like, you know, like what the hell am I doing?
You want to be selling?
Yeah, you know, and I don't think going forward. Not that I don't think. I know going forward, I won't do stuff like that. I won't put my body through that kind of risk because it hampers my performance also, and I don't want that anything to be an excuse. I want to be fully fit, whether I fail, whether I do well, whatever.
Tell us about your tours around the world. I think you've played T20 franchise for in a lot of countries: Sri Lanka, South Africa, Bangladesh,
India, Pakistan.
All of T20 in all of those places. I hope you're investing your money carefully because sportsmen, they have a limit. Yeah. It's only Jimmy Anderson still bowling at 4-1 and Chris Gale played at 38 or 39. But what's next? What's next? I know you're a fixture in CPL. Nobody would think, no team would think of not picking you. The all-rounder in T20 is very important. You could contribute with the ball and the bat.
Yeah,
it's an all-rounder game, in fact.
It's an all-rounder game, yeah. But with the impact player rule now, it's gotten much tougher on all-rounders, you know, because you can either select just a specialist bowler as an impact player or a specialist batsman.
That was the initial criticism.
Yeah.
But that is only for India. Caribbean is bringing impact player system in.
I have no idea, but I don't know if Australia has it as yet, but I know for sure India has it.
Yeah, they introduced it last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
India and I think Pakistan League has it also.
Yeah, it was done in Australia too.
Yeah.
But
no, like I mean, as you said, I've played lots of leagues around the world. I gained a lot of experience, and these leagues teach you a lot. You know, like I said, it teaches you a lot about the game, and it's also really good to see these different countries. And sometimes I just gotta thank God for giving me that opportunity to be able to see all these places and stuff like that. And you know, as you said, touching on the financial aspect, I try to tell these guys, our career is just a short period. So you need to focus and be smart with your finances.
Sarwan is doing well.
Yeah, very, very well. So it's about being really smart.
I think Gail has business in Jamaica.
Well, I'm not quite sure about those guys, to be honest. I know about SARS, and I'm not sure about like Chris and these other guys. Yeah.
I think he has a restaurant.
Yeah, I knew he had a restaurant, but I'm not sure if it's still open or closed. No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keemo, we may want to call this the icing on the cake, but when the team won the CPL title, the joy, and I remember the one image that's in my head all the time is you taking that medal and biting it and giving it to little baby the joy was so evident. You want to tell us about that tournament, or which you had, obviously, you were injured, and then you came out you decided you're going to still play. Tell us about that tournament, man.
No, the CPL is always different for me and for the entire Caribbean and everyone who's a part of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. The CPL, the vibes, the energy, the passion, everything is just different. You look forward to the CPL months in advance, So, going into that tournament, obviously, Lance was our coach, Lance Cruznan. We had John O'Dear, so we had experience, and there's guys like Griff and Hercules and these guys, our trainer Jamar. Our support group, Jason, our physio, our support group is fantastic. In any environment, you need the players to be calm. You need it to be fun. You need to be relaxed for players to perform to the best of their abilities. And that is what that support group brought. It was just fun always. We knew when to be serious, when to kick down, but off the field, it was just a bunch of little kids, man. So I think that was something that really motivated us. We never went into any game feeling pressured.
Okay.
We always went in like we would get it done. The before speeches in the dressing room that guys would give and stuff would just motivate you, hype you up to get out there and to be the best. So winning that tournament, man, that was special. It was like a weight lifted off his shoulder for so many years. I wouldn't say for us, I would say for the people of Guyana. When we won, it was just like we were so happy we did it for the people of Guyana because they've waited so long.
Yeah. We were so many finals.
We've disappointed them so much in different finals, semi-finals, whatever. So when we won, it was firstly like, this is for the people. Now it's for, and after then it was like, yeah, we did it, whatever, guys. And it was just, man, tremendous. Like we went back to the dressing, to the hotel, to the team room, and Emi gave his speech, our owner. It was just emotional. It was just, like emotions were just flowing, and it was a really, really happy time, man. Like, it was so joyous,
You played cricket as a colleague internationally with two men whose celebratory antics are very, very unique. I want you to tell us, when they are not around, how you guys would say. One is Sheldon Cottrell, and the other is your captain for. Once the wicket is taken, he is in space outside of the two of them. What are the thing about this?
No, well, everyone has their own unique celebration. Obviously, Cottrell has his own coming from the army.
Yeah.
So
He's a Jamaican soldier.
Yeah, when we get out there, certain guys would celebrate. So you just give them it's just expected. You just give them their space and just let them be, So it's not really a lot of like a banter and stuff about it or anything like that in the dressing room.
It's just taken for granted.
It's just you leave them, Like Emi is just a really calm, quiet person, man. He speaks so quietly.
You would not believe it when he takes a wicket.
No, but when he hits the field, the passion that he has, and he loves Guyana, man. He loves Guyana. So the passion that he has when he hits that field and he gets a wicket, the way he celebrates, oh my God, man. Yeah, it's off the charts. But it's all passion because he meets 44 years of age, man.
Yeah. I guess last year was his last hooray.
Well,
You can't play international cricket at 45.
well,
Really?
I mean,
Possibly
it's
can.
franchise cricket, so it's not it's high standard, but it's franchise, so I wouldn't count him out. I wouldn't count him out. Like I said, his passion for Guyana is tremendous anywhere he goes. And we have created such a good friendship, like when I was in South Africa. Like he just took me out and, took me for dinner and he would just make sure I'm good always, and he would always say, man, I love Guyana. He just loves the people. They just give him so much energy, so much passion. So I know for him, if he stops playing for the Guyana franchise, I don't know, he'd probably still want to be a part of the support group, but the people love him, he loves the people, so I don't see any reason why he can't play again. It's all up to him and how his body is, and in the SC League.
If he does, he probably will have a record of playing international. The oldest person playing international. I think there was a test player in UK called Tom Graveney. I think Graveney played in his 40s.
Yeah,
and then they had a Indian spin in the IPL, but I don't think anybody ever
Pravin
played.
Tambe.
I don't think anybody ever played cricket at 45.
No idea, to be honest.
Yeah, he will go into the record book. Traveling around the world, I always ask sports people this question, and let me ask you that before Akash come in. Apart from your own country and your own region, which country you like playing cricket in? You like the country, its ambience, how you feel emotionally about it, and you played all over the world.
Yeah, look, firstly, I like to play in India just because of the crowd and the atmosphere. Like 90,000 people, 80,000 people. It's crazy, the level of the noise. You just got to keep looking at your captain, looking at your teammate, because you can't hear. And I like that for that aspect, but entirely with everything, with the cricket, with the food, the culture, everything. I love South Africa. South Africa has become like my favorite place. The people, the culture, the team that I was a part of, everything. It's just a fantastic place to be, man. Yes, I would say South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keemo, we would not be able to finish this interview unless I ask you about the future of Keemo Paul. Where do you see yourself? What are some of your future ambitions, and what is it that you want to do? How do you plan on giving back to sports and all of that? What is Keemo? Where do you see Keemo in another few years?
Well, in another few years, I see Keemo retired.
No, man.
Look, I mean, like I told Mr. Kissoon, I wanna be the best all-rounder in the world, and to get there, it's a process. It's not going to be easy.
It's hard work.
It's going to be a lot of hard work, but like I said, cricket is not just about going out there and hitting the ball and bowling the ball. It's about being much smarter than that, So I'm putting systems in place before the CPL, where I'm gonna have my own trainer come down to work on specifics so that I don't get injured. Focus on nutrition, on recovery. Like I said, you gotta invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, then you don't want to progress. You're contented with where you are. And I just want to be a better person. I want to be smarter. I want to be wiser. I want to be more mentally tough. So, I got to thank Safraz.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Safraz from VNet, Look, Safraz has been an inspiration for me.
Since you were under 15, yeah?
Yes, and a motivator,
Mm-hmm.
He always sends me stuff for me to read, gives me books, and I'm very privileged and happy to have Safraz around. Safraz is like a big brother. He always wants the best for me.
Mm-hmm.
And with people like that around me, I can't see myself not progressing. I think my circle is pretty small, and that's something that I want to maintain. So, like I said, I just want to keep growing, getting higher, getting more intellectual, getting smarter, whatever. And when I talk about giving back, I'm always here, and I always want people to ask me questions and try to learn from me as much as possible. That's why I try to be a positive role model as much as possible, because I want to give back to the youths in a way. I would say not by just going and throwing a few balls to them or whatever. I want to be able to sit with them and motivate them in some way so that they may become a much smarter cricketer, and not just cricketer, an all-round person. Like with finances, probably going more into the corporate world, whatever. Because I just want persons to be much more rounded and a better individual. So like for the younger guys coming up, I'm a person that I like to treat people with respect. I try to stay as humble as possible. So for the younger generation or the younger cricketers coming up, I want to see them play with passion, with heart, not give in so easily. I want them to be leaders, to be able to stand up, to be able to do interviews and speak intellectually and stuff like that. It all ties in hand in hand. So I just want to keep motivating them and trying to help them as much as possible to make the best decisions in the cricketing world and probably in their lives. Help them through the road, because I've been through a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of people has helped me. Yeah? So that's something that I want to do. And in terms of the giving back aspect, probably in the future I would probably try to open an academy or something like that, and probably even get my own top class facility where talent, you can nurture talent and push them to the next level, or when they get to the next level they don't just come back and be stagnant. They could actually keep working and try to improve on their game in some aspect and then stay at the top.
That is amazing, Keemo.
You're pretty young. You're in your middle 20s, moving up from there. So you got a lot to offer Guyanese cricket.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love playing for my country. I love playing for Guyana, and I love being around the guys. We're all close. I've made a lot of good friends, and I just feel like a little kid when I play for Guyana. Just like when I head back home in Saxakali, when I play for Guyana, I just feel relaxed. Like we're all so closely knit. It's really, really good. I mean, I would love to see Sharfin back playing for Guyana whenever he's available. Hetmaya, Shepard, I would love for all of us to play for Guyana. So hopefully, and obviously I'm not playing in the 4 days currently, so hopefully in another tournament whenever Guyana plays, we can all be there representing Guyana and trying to win a title for Guyana again. Yeah.
When sports people are in front of the camera, it's always sports. We don't know when you will do this again. So let's shift the focus 180 degrees. Tell us about Mistress Paul, how you met her and where she's from.
A little baby too.
Yeah.
What's the baby's name?
My baby's name is Yasina.
Yasina?
Yeah, her middle name is Aikaterini.
That's from your experience in South Africa?
No, Aikaterini is Greek.
Okay, yeah, Aikaterina. And the first name is?
Yasina, it actually came from a flower. Yasenia is a flower, but we just changed it around a bit.
Why the Greek thing? Something
I just wanted something.
Do with your travels?
No, I just wanted something unique, something you don't hear every day. I'm the type of person I like to be a bit different, so that's why. So coming back to the point of how I.
Who's this lady? Yeah, where is she from?
My wife is from the West Coast, Tushan to be exact.
Yeah, that's a sprawling estate, yeah, large, yeah.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Her name is Shanice. So we actually, when we met I wasn't even representing Guyana as yet, and she knew nothing about cricket. She was more into church, and she's a teacher. So, like where I was residing at the time on the West Coast, the school she was teaching was right there. So sometimes I would come from training, be walking through the street. When the school is over, she would be walking out.
You deliberately timing it, right?
Sometimes. Yeah, that's how we basically met, and my cousin actually married her sister also.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. So it's quite an extended family now, and my wife, since she has come into my life, my wife is very, very smart. If you think I like to read, my wife loves to read and loves to educate herself. So
they say behind every successful man is a woman.
Definitely. So she's always someone to give me advice and try to get me to open up more. I'm not a person that likes to open up and likes to speak a lot. So she tries to help me with that, and she works with me on that aspect. And obviously we have a baby girl together. She's 15 months, and well, you already know her name. She's quite a handful. So it's the whole parenting stuff and all that was quite new to me, but I always wanted to be a father, to be a parent. So before my daughter was born, I tried to educate myself as much as possible, and my wife the same, because obviously we want to instill certain values and teachings into our child. So I'm really blessed to have the family that I have. I'm really privileged to have that, and like I said, my support system is really good. My mom is there, my dad is there, my brothers, everyone that I'm in contact with, they just support me wholeheartedly, and they want nothing but the best for me. And if I'm only going off track in any time, if my wife don't pull me up, my parents definitely will. So I'm really happy for the people that I have around me.
Before Akash come in, I don't want to ask you this because it may be sensitive, but journalists, how they operate. You're still going to be with the Amazon franchise. If there's anything in the pipeline, I don't want you to say it.
I would say I would love to be back with the Amazon franchise. So hopefully I'm back. Hopefully I'm there with the Amazon franchise. Wholeheartedly. I love the Amazon Warriors. It's always a home for me. The year I got released, I was very, very emotional, because I always told myself I don't want to play for another franchise other than the Amazon Warriors. So I would say I don't see myself leaving. I don't
think Guyanese would not see you in the CPL. I mean, you're a big 3-format cricketer for the West Indies. I don't think we would see the Amazon Warriors in operation without you. I don't think that's possible. Anything is possible, but I doubt that. Yeah. So we'll see you on the field. Our operator says it's time to go. Akash, and then we'll ask you to...
Keemo, look, this program is open to you at any time. We would love to have you back again. We want to hope it's our best wishes, and I'm sure of all the thousands and thousands of viewers who's watching this program, that you do well in cricket, that you win many more titles, and every time you win a title, we hope to have you here in this program. This program is always open to you. We will reach out to you again. It was really amazing.
We'd like you to do a call-in. Let people ask you about the world of cricket. There may be thousands out there.
No problem. We can do it in the near future.
We usually do our call-in programs on Friday evenings.
Okay.
And Mr. Kissoon, if you don't know, Keemo Paul is my neighbor. I'm taking a little hype up here, right, for myself. Yeah. So we will come over together. You're not gonna worry.
Yeah.
But Keemo, man, your career is such an amazing one, and your life story, which you haven't really beginning to touch yet, is even more.
Yeah.
Keemo says that when people hear his story, they burst into tears. It's so emotional at times, but let's hope that one day we can document your story, and that story will be in many ways inspirational to people, and you can help change lives, bro.
So Easter Monday's coming up. Where are you going to be, in Saxacali or Wakenham?
Most likely Saxacali. You know, the MASH weekend, the entire family went up to Saxacali for the week. You know, and that's how we like to live. We just like the peace and the quiet, and surrounded by family. I like to see everyone together. All of my family, I like to see them together. So yeah.
I like to ask this: if you're doing our day trip one day, Mr. Kissoon, would you go to Saxacali?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
Yeah, but go with my father's boat, not mine, because you won't be able to sit there. I drive myself on a.
We'll go with
I
Mr.
like
Paul.
to get a lot of speed on the water top, yeah. So.
Mr. Kissoon is a daredevil, you know. He is a daredevil.
Me?
But yeah,
I've done it.
let me just say thank you guys for having me on the show. You know, it's been a privilege. Obviously, I know Akash very well, you know, and it was just really good to come here and share some insight and answer the questions, whatever. Obviously, there's a whole ocean below that I haven't delved into, but there's always another time.
Yeah.
So
I'd like the next time you come, I'd like us to arrange some videos so we could see you in action. It is always a pleasure talking to a Guyanese icon. Thanks.
Thank you, man. Privilege to be here.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, gosh, thank you.
Thanks for being with us. Our guest this evening is West Indian and Guyanese cricket star in all three formats, Keemo Paul. And you will see him in action, I think, in August and September with the CPL coming up. On behalf of Akash, we'd like to wish Keemo Paul the very, very best tomorrow, next week, next year, and in the future. Catch you later. Bye-bye.